Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright. Look at me drinking a glass of milk.
Have you turned to the dark side?
Yeah, fuck it. Climate change is happening. Bollocks. The animals are dying. We can't do anything about it, so I'm just drinking milk. Fuck it.
Okay. What is it really?
Oat milk.
Okay, fine. I was getting worried for a minute.
I had my first taste of just oat milk on its own. And I was like, oh, that's yummy. So
Oh,
now
wow.
I just drink oat milk on its own. It's like happy days.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
really yum,
Okay.
yum, yum, yum.
What have you been up to?
Honestly, you can edit this if you want. My head's mashed, man.
Oh,
This
what's up?
this week has been hellish.
No.
Well, not hellish, just
Work stuff.
work stuff that's like, I'll tell you later
Yeah.
afterwards.
Maybe this is an off-air discussion.
It's definitely an off-air discussion.
Yeah. Okay. I've had weeks when doing the podcast has been the thing that's kept me together.
Yeah. There is a bit of that.
So, welcome to my mental health crutch, everyone.
But no, I'm okay. My head's well above water.
That's the main thing.
It's a real head fuck. This one.
It will
But
all be
yeah,
all right in the end.
fasting's going well.
Oh, you're still on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
loving it.
Where are we? Oh, is this hence the oat milk? Is this a?
So what happened was, because I only drink black coffee and green tea, we've got a surplus milk. So I was like, I'm just going to start drinking it, see what it's. So we don't really buy milk from the shop now. We get the milkman delivers it, which is nice.
Oh wow.
So he was sort of topping us up.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was delivering it, and then we were topping up with other stuff from the shop.
Yeah.
But then we were overrun, and I was like, well, I'm just going to drink milk and.
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure it doesn't go to waste.
Yeah. So
that's good.
So we just get the milkman milk and I drink it because we don't have it in coffee or tea anymore.
Wow.
Or cereal.
Do you know, I was thinking about what you'd been saying about the fasted, and I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to go for it completely, but what I've noticed is when I'm at work, I drink a lot of coffee with milk. So I'm one of those fancy people with a prep subscription.
Yes, you are fancy, aren't you?
So you can get 5 coffees a day. I never have 5. That's too many. I would never sleep with 5. But I'll often have 3. And that's a lot of oat milk throughout the day. And I've been thinking, as it's approaching holiday time, well, actually, as we're talking, it's approaching holiday time. And as you're listening, it's way after holiday time. But as we're approaching holiday time, I was thinking, I'll just pause it. And then lo and behold, they sent an email today about how they're changing the subscription process and it's going to be considerably less good. So I think I'll just jack it in and take some green tea bags to work and drink that.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not saying, I'm only going off the back of what you were saying. As we're talking about it, if anybody is listening or those that are listening that are like considering fasting, a couple of the lessons I've learned recently about it is know your motivation for doing it. If you haven't got the right motivation, not that you'll fail, but you'll just go. You feel that you that hunger, the hunger pangs you get, you're like, I can't do this. It's just too much. Whereas if you keep the motivation in your head as to why, then it's all fine. You can get through
that sounds a lot like veganism to me.
A little bit. And what got me?
If you're thinking, oh my God, I can't do without cheese, I can't do without cheese, I can't do without cheese, you are never going to go without cheese.
Exactly.
But if you think I'm doing this for the animals, or I'm doing it for the planet, or I'm doing it for health, and that's your motivation, you're going to stick to it. You're more likely to stick to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And if I mentioned this on the last episode, I apologise for repeating myself. But it was when I questioned with some people I was talking to about breakfast being the most important meal of the day, and they said Kellogg's was a marketing ploy. I was like, right, yeah, that's out the window. So breakfast went anyway.
That's the same as go to work on an egg, isn't it?
Yeah, we can.
It's the same thing.
You can live for days with no food. You can't live for days without water, but you can without food, and it's just understanding that it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna, it feels funny. You feel a bit icky at some times, but your body gets used to that, and it's it's fine.
Yeah, I think I read a while ago that breakfast never used to be a thing until people started working in factories in the Industrial Revolution, and management realised that people would work harder if they'd had a breakfast.
Yes.
So that's it.
But that might have been around the employer giving the employee something to motivate them. And if you're getting something for free or whatever, then you're going to feel more valued, aren't you? So you will work harder. It's not about the energy you're putting into your body. It's about the motivation by your employer looking after you.
That's it.
Maybe.
Anyway, welcome to The Rest is History.
Yeah, because we know what we're talking about. You remember when we started and we still go with, what the fuck do we know?
Oh.
Anyway, consult your GP if you are thinking about fasting.
Yeah. Don't listen to us too.
No, I'm doing it and I'm doing it safely. But don't just do it and then say, but How I Vegan podcast said it was okay to fast and now I'm dying.
Christ, that would be
We'll get a complaint. I thought this was a safe place.
It is a safe space.
It is a safe space.
Mostly.
Hashtag mostly.
Yeah. Ah, dear.
You're swimming in your eye,
it's hot today. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you can tell, but I look bright
hazy?
Pink today. I went for amazing. I went for a run earlier with Paul and Jim, the vegan musketeers, as we'd call ourselves, this morning, and it was considerably sunnier than I anticipated. I've got a little bit sunburned, I think, on the old bonds.
On the bold napper, yeah. I shaved my head this morning, and I was like, "Yeah, the sun's out. This isn't good to be outside."
So anyway, if you want to get in touch, then it's all the usual stuff. Come and find us on Instagram, send us a message, or send us an email. We should get a jingle for emails.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's Organic Dog Meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing?
I do a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared. And every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely. Unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat.
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
Everything the dog's been fed.
Everything about it.
For each dog.
Yeah, only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people, meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested, there's only Elwood's Organic Dog Meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
Our guest in this episode hails from Lithuania, but now lives in the UK. She's a member of Vegan Runners and recently represented the club while she took part in the Climate Relay. She's an advocate for the animals and is part of the organising team behind the Vegan and Animal Rights Conference, which launched in April. Our guest is
thanks
Roberta.
So much, guys.
Welcome.
Very, very nice to be here. And finally meet you. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining
We've got
us.
another vegan runner on, yay.
Yeah, so who is, are you both vegan runners? Or...
I am.
I've signed up, but I can't run for toffee, so
well,
not happening.
maybe one day.
Maybe one day when I'm not injured.
Oh,
but
great.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
It's a great community to be part of.
It really is. So you're in London, is that right?
Yes,
you're
I
part
am.
of
Yeah.
The London.
Been living
London
here
group.
since I really came, which was 10 years ago. Quite a while. Yeah. I've been always in London.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been in Hartford for a year and a half, but yeah, back in London now.
Okay.
Well, I could say now, after like 10 years living here, maybe London is a bit of too much. It's really, really busy. I mean, it's fine when I was in Hartford, you know, it's like easy to access London if you wanted to. But to be in this chaos all the time, I find it. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. I find it too much. Yeah, but I don't know. The question was like how I found the move from Lithuania to UK, or that was the question more than anything. Well, in the beginning it was really hard, to be honest. It's a change, you know, of the environment, culture, language, but you know, you get used to things and you find friends and build your social circus, so that helps. But it was really, really tough. I've had the tickets to go back at some point, but then I changed my mind. Yeah, so I think it all kind of relates in the people you're surrounded with and the kind of job you do and if you like it or not like it and all of that. So I decided to stay, and I think now is like 5 years or 6 years. I really enjoy it, and at the moment I'm not seeing myself like as coming back. I think I found my ground. I found the things that I like, and I feel like I'm kind of part of it already. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good.
That's good. So tell us about the Vegan and Animal Rights Conference.
Yeah, so that was the first ever Vegan and Animal Rights Conference, which took place in April in Manchester. So it was organized and co-founded and founded by Liz Flynn. So she is really a big part of the movement. She used to be part of Animal Rebellion, and she worked for DXC, Direct Action, in USA. And then she came back and she thought what UK lacks, and one of the things she could think of is the kind of conference in a kind of format like that, because everyone is doing so much within like animal rights movement, but there is no kind of one place where it kind of gathers all together. So yeah, so the aim was really kind of to gather everyone together and to just build that platform where everyone can come together and like share ideas, feel like united. And really that's what we want to kind of provide, the platform where everyone can come together and kind of feel really strong, because that is like a sense of community. When you get together, you get that feeling. So yeah, so that was first ever event, and I think everyone was a bit nervous because we really didn't know how it was going to go. And I joined them in February, so it was quite progressed at that time already. All the speakers were decided and agenda, so I kind of hopped in and helped with the rest of the bits that needed doing, basically. But we're very happy of the outcome. It really went well. It exceeded expectations. I think everyone found it really helpful and interesting. Yeah, so we are looking forward now to 2025, and this is like exclusive because tomorrow there is announcement of a date for next year. Well, exclusive for you two guys, because probably when the podcast is going to be out, everyone going to know the date. So next year we will have the conference on 29th and 30th of March. It will be very similar to this year's. It will be 2 days with Friday social event. beforehand. And so we already have plans for 2026 with a bit more like conference alongside with maybe leadership program, but that's like to come like forward in the days. Once we have like a plan together, we will share the ideas and plans around that.
That's exciting.
So did you see any like changes off of the back of the last one? Like,
sorry, what do you mean by that?
Did you, after the conference, did you see has anything?
Well, it's difficult to say
made?
because we collected the feedback, and the feedback was very positive. And a couple people said that they're going to take, direct action, or they're going to join animal rights activist groups, and they're going to be more involved. And we have in a plan to check in with them like after a half a year or something like that, and just to see if that happened, if they stick with it. Yeah, we heard a lot of leadership leaders kind of talking about it, that it was a good platform to connect, and it gave them a space to kind of talk with each other as well about like what they are working on, just to share ideas and stuff like that. So in a kind of like brief level, I think there was it was a good outcome, but I don't know how you kind of measure it. I think it's too soon to measure it yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you had a lot of speakers on. I'm just looking down the list here. That's a lot crammed into a couple of days.
So we had 3 rooms, and all 3 rooms had a different speakers and different sessions around it. It was quite dense with a variety of topics and stuff. What we want to do for next year, we want to maybe speak more with organizations and what they need, what they think the movement needs. Because when you think, we as our organizers, we don't really belong to any of the groups. So we are kind of like outside body, just like organizing. So we want to get a bit like from them the feedback, what they think is needed, and kind of organize it in that way. Because we can think like maybe we need to speak about, I don't know, burnout or leadership or I don't know, media or like effective engagement with public, but maybe that's not what is needed. So they can tell us. So that is one of the aims for the next year, to kind of get more into depth. But it's probably going to be very similar. Maybe a couple topics will be slightly different. Yeah, it is.
That's exciting. So we'll look forward. We'll tag the Instagram page in our social media post so people can find out more about it. That's good. And I mentioned that you recently took part in the climate relay as well.
It was a lot of running.
Tell us about that.
Around. I found out about it last year, and I joined only one leg last year, and this year I thought I want to be more involved. It's a really good message. Obviously, as a vegan, I find it a bit like, you don't really know how to go about it, because not necessarily everyone involved are vegans. And, as a vegans, we know how they're talking about it behind the scenes and stuff like that. So, but I thought it's better to be part of it than not to be part of it. And, me running with a vegan t-shirt and promoting it, speaking about it, it just gives that message out. And I think sometimes as a vegans, we kind of put that kind of negative label as well. And like, we don't get out to the world, which is kind of brutal, on kind of in our own juices, as we say. So so I took a part in that. I ran 3 days. I did most of the stages. And met so many nice people along the way. And some of them are vegan, but they're just not part of the vegan runners, for example. Yeah.
What?
Or they are
unacceptable.
That's impossible. So so sometimes you don't really know what you're going to find on the way. So that was really good thing to be part of, because again, when people come together and do something, it's just so much like power in there. So so I really had a good time, and the organizers, really nice people as well. So we're going to keep in contact and keep in touch for the next year. One of the aims would be to get vegan runners even more involved. I think we've been quite active this year, but I would like to see like more people involved next year. We can like own stages as well. We can do some activities, and so I think 222 people pledged to go vegan for a month, because that's what vegan runners were kind of asking to do. If you can pledge for that. Wow. Basically, everyone who signed for a stage, they could pledge for something. So vegan runners offered that, and 222 people signed for that. yeah, that's not bad
Fantastic.
achievement. Well, if they're gonna stick with that, hopefully, but who knows?
Let's hope.
Yeah, but at least, you know, if they're going to give it a go, even if they become vegetarian, it's still
Exactly. Yeah, slowly, slowly. You know,
not.
everyone
So
is, yeah,
yeah,
on their
do
own
something.
journey, as I say, and you can't really push people.
That's
Yeah. So yeah, I took part in that.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm quite active at the moment, wearing different hats, as I say. Just like switching. Now let's focus on a
Yeah.
conference. Now focus on a relay. Now focus on vegan runners and all the other stuff. So it's quite
Incredible.
hectic at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, vegan runners in London it's quite one of the more active groups. You do
Yes.
social runs
Yeah. So
quite
I
often as
think
well.
there
I've
is a
seen on your
run almost
Instagram.
every
So,
day
yeah.
if you wanted. So there is. So I could
What?
start naming like Mondays. I think is like North London. Tuesdays is Clapham. Wednesdays is 10K around Thames. So we will run around South Bank in London, and Thursdays a track. Saturdays a park run meetup, and Sundays is like long run. Somebody's organizing a long run. I think except Friday, and then we do social dinners on Friday. So it's like full on. Yeah, it's really active.
Wow,
I think because
that's
we are
incredible.
quite few members in London, and it's very easy for us to meet. Because
Yeah.
I used to be part of the Hertfordshire group as well, but because it's like the area is bigger, they do like not as many meetups. Yeah. So London is pretty active on that.
Yeah, no,
front, yeah.
that's what it's a bit like for me. There's like 3 of us around here who do
Yeah.
the park
Well,
run,
but at
and
least
that's about it. Maybe a couple here and there. Yeah, it's frustrating, but you know, it's a
yeah,
good tribe to be
definitely. I
part of.
think I think since so I joined 2 years ago, and I think that's what kind of inspired me to be more active on vegan front, because you are
Oh,
just surrounded
brilliant.
with all lovely people who have their own stories, and you just get inspired, and it's just so good to just hang out and um and go to the coffee shops or restaurants, and everyone is looking for the same options. It's like you, exactly, yeah, that's how I found it. I'm like,
Yes,
oh, this is a paradise. Plus you
that's a good
run,
point.
which I like to do, and you socialize. So it's like a good combo. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So Bez, you should join at some point.
love
It's
that.
amazing.
Love that. Fantastic. Okay, so tell us then, what's your vegan story?
My vegan story. So I became vegan in 2019, which was like 5 years ago, and I think my journey on that actually started in 2018. Yeah, we were just having a party. It was my sister's birthday, and we were having these like steaks and stuff in the steakhouse. And after that, I feel really, really like sick. I don't know if it was food poisoning or something like that. And it just made me think. It just made me think of like it just didn't sit well with me. I kept thinking, and I was feeling sick as well. And I'm like, why I'm keep eating that? And even before that, when I would eat like something which would remind me like an animal, like it wouldn't be like a sandwich, it would be like a steak, a chicken, or something. It would always make me think, basically. So after that party, I was like, if it doesn't sit with me well, I just need not like do that. Like, what's gonna happen? What is the worst that's gonna happen? So I started to cut from like steak and stuff, and like move to other stuff like sausages or whatever, chicken. And then I got into fish. I was living in Italy for 2 months at the time, and I was not eating meat, so I was eating mainly fish. So I had enough of that as well. So I came back. I'm like, it's just I just can't eat anything like what's alive anymore. And then I had one vegan friend who kept offering me to watch documentaries and stuff. And I said, when I'm ready, I will tell you. And then you can recommend me, and then I'm going to watch. Because I think part of me knew once I'm going to watch that, I will have to make changes, and there's going to be no way back. And that's what happened. So once I was back, and then I cut off fish as well, I said, let me watch those documentaries. And one of them was Cowspiracy, and another one, What the Health. And yeah, I think like most people, they watch them and just open the cupboards just throw everything out. Like, that's what happened to me. And yeah, and that's it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is an eye-opening. Like, it's one to kind of go on your own journey and just to do that by the feel. But another thing is to actually watch something like that where the facts are giving, the footage is shown, and I just felt it so powerful. And it just kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, that's it. Like, why didn't watch it before? And I just went vegan since then. And I remember in the beginning, I was so like nervous for probably a couple months. I was like carrying everywhere Tupperwares with food because I thought I'm gonna die if I'm not gonna die, like gonna collapse, faint. Like I've just not be able to, I don't know, even walk. And I remember at that time, like 5 years ago, there was not like many kind of snacks or like sandwiches on the go. So if I would travel somewhere, I would be really like packing up loads of food all the time. And I just like kept eating all the time. And I'm like, this is great. You can just eat all the time. So this is my vegan journey really. But when I think even before that, I always used to look at like vegetarians and vegans and think like they are good people. Like, wow, like I really respect you. But it never kind of crossed my mind, oh, maybe I can be one of those people. Like, no, I just kept doing what I'm doing. But I always looked at them like, wow, like this is amazing. Wow. But it kind of never crossed my mind. And now thinking like, why? No idea.
That's a good point, to be fair. Yeah, I think it's probably an element of that I thought, because obviously I've said on previous episodes, my missus was vegan when I met her, and I took the piss out of her for it because I did, because I was a carnist, so that's what we did. But yeah, I think there was always an element of respect for it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so as long as it's that, I think that's like an indicator that you feel for it, you actually agree with it. Because some people don't really feel that way, and I have friends who watched Earthlings. I didn't even watch that, and they still eat everything. So yes, I know I know.
That's supposed to be
I don't
like
even
the worst
want to
one.
watch them. Like, it's just exactly.
No.
It makes me wonder how much they're actually watching it, because I've heard people say, "Yeah, I've watched that," and are they watching it, or are they sat there watching with it on their phone?
Yeah.
I can't see how you can watch it and not.
Yeah, maybe they're not like connecting that much, having something on the background. Where me is like even Cowspiracy, I was like just glued to the screen because I find it interesting as well. Like, I find it something like that resonates with me and just sits well with me.
I was saying it was Cowspiracy for me, and the wife had put it on, and I was like, I ain't getting involved with this nonsense. And then I found out it was because it's all to do with the environment, or mostly about the environment. I was like, actually, I'm quite passionate about the environment, so I started watching it, and then by the end of it, that was me done. So
I really like those documentaries, and then I think after I watched even more, and then you have dinner and you're so proud of yourself, like you're watching it, you're like, I'm doing a good thing. It's just so good to watch it, and then you just watch it for facts, or just to kind of say, like, confirm to yourself you're doing the right thing, you're doing awesome thing, and then you kind of can leave it like pleased with yourself, basically.
So did you find anything difficult after you made that change?
Not really. I think in the beginning, probably the one of the foods that I was missing, it was like pastries. But I was always like craving some kind of cakes, pastries, or something like that. And I think it was quite good, like from the health perspective, because I was really on like a whole grain, like whole foods diet, like for a very long time, because I just couldn't find anywhere like this kind of like processed foods. So maybe that's what it's not a struggle, but that's what I missed a lot. But the rest was really, of course, the side of like telling your family about it, telling your friends about it, and that was really hard, because I remember I was like a month vegan and I was invited to the barbecue, And I didn't really kind of thought about it. I just went, like, I didn't prepare myself. It was awful. It was so bad. Like, they were grilling me. So they're like, what you can eat. They were grilling me like just like mushroom and pepper. And they were like, what else do you eat? And they didn't have anything else because I didn't prepare. And I was eating it, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, this is really not tasty. This is like awful. And they're like, how you can eat that? Like, is that even good? And I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. I love it. Because it's just too late, to admit. Like, I didn't have enough information like I do now. Like, now with 5 years, I have my facts, and I listen to loads of podcasts and read books, and now I'm a bit more armed.
Yeah.
But that time I was like, oh my God, they're like attacking me, everyone from every front. And I just sit there and eat my like pepper and mushroom. And it's awful. Like, it's not even seasoned.
Oh, that is the worst thing though, because when you're a new vegan, that's when you start telling people, but you don't really know anything.
Right.
So, and you can't just say to them, oh, go and watch Cowspiracy. Because no one's going to go away for 2 hours and sit and watch a film and then come back and have a conversation, are they? So it is really difficult when you're a new vegan.
I think I kind of don't like that part that all of the so you go vegan and all of a sudden you need to be expert, like on so many fronts, like environment, diet, this, that, and I don't know, so many things, and I feel it's not fair. Because so many people, like when they eat like omnivores, like even they don't know, they don't know stuff. But if you say you're vegan, they all of a sudden they know all about it, all the nutritional facts come along.
And it's weird that people have questions in their head straight away as soon as they find out, where do you get your protein? Straight away.
I know.
Why are you sitting on that? What other questions have you got in your head? What if I'd said I'd found God or something? What would you say to that? What about?
And I feel like
singing
as
hymns?
being like vegan, you are kind of like they can ask you those questions. They can kind of even offend you. I feel like there is like this kind of a norm in society. Yeah, let's just attack them. No, not attack them, but like there is straight away this kind of area of questions and heated discussion and elements like that. Nobody would question, like a religion or anything like that. Like everyone's like, okay, yeah, this is your choice. But when it comes to veganism, like everyone feels like, oh yeah, let's just ask all these questions. And those questions come from like media, usually social media. It's like, because it's the same questions all the time. So what I'm doing actually now, I finally got to read Ed Vinter's latest book, How to Argue with the Meat Eater, and I'm on it. So I'm preparing for the arguments and everything. But it's kind of but once you're asked those questions, like once you're asked this question, I still get frustrated. I still don't know how to answer. I still get angry, and I'm like, where do you get your protein from? And I'm like, oh, who you get your protein from? So
but you never get a second chance either. Someone will ask you and have that conversation with you. They never come back to you like at the next barbecue and say, oh, tell me some more about being vegan. That's it. You get one chance to answer those questions, and then that's it.
I feel always such a pressure. And sometimes I just think about like, what could be the other way? Like how to make it not as difficult, like I don't know, like something easy, something that it would not feel as attack, because that's how usually it is. And we face it every day.
Or like, you could sort of go down the sort of Tash Peterson sort of route of saying, when they say, why are you vegan? You could say, oh, well, why are you an animal abuser? And see how that goes. But that's quite aggressive. That's quite an aggressive approach, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what is the best way, but probably something, I don't know, because we're all, different, and it depends who we're talking with. And
that's it.
Yeah, when I think even, I hope some of my friends going to listen to this podcast and just kind of hear my frustration on the topic.
Roberta's
because it's not necessarily you would you speak about it all the time. You meet up, and you just meet up and you just talk about life. You not necessarily touch it, because once you touch it, that's it. Like conversation is almost over.
And I like that there's sometimes you get the bingo questions, where do you get your protein? What if you're on a desert island with a pig? All that. And then you out of nowhere you get someone ask, like they knew someone's mother's uncle's dog's brother that went vegan once and
Nearly
had the
died.
shit, so couldn't do it anymore.
I
And
know.
how am I supposed to answer that question? When you've only been vegan for a month, you're
No.
like, I don't know what the bloody answer is.
No.
But they're expecting an answer,
Yeah,
and
they
you're just
do.
like, well, I haven't got a
Yeah.
clue.
Suddenly you have to become a
Exactly.
dietitian, nutritionist,
Yeah.
some ethical
Yeah, and
expert.
I try to
It's
remember those
it's so
facts
difficult.
as well, but it's
Yeah.
just it doesn't go with my head. I just can't remember the
Yeah.
facts, and I would be like, I kind of know them in my
Mhm.
head. I know I'm doing the right thing, but sometimes I just think like,
Yeah.
back in the like uni days where you had to kind of learn something, to just sit there and learn like the phrases and be ready for it, because I still get a bit like,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
really kind of lose myself, and then it's kind of all the conversation that goes not where I wanted.
Yeah.
I've mentioned before as well that I found that same frustration, and now I just look at the fact that any argument you come at me with,
Mm.
does an animal die? Whatever argument you come with, there's always going to be an animal that dies,
Yeah.
so therefore that's the reason. So you don't need to remember all the facts. You just know that the fact is an animal dies, and
That's the bottom line.
that's
Like
the bottom
whatever
line.
they have a happy life, unhappy life. Like what kind of protein you can get from, I don't know, meats, and what kind of protein you can get from tofu. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end we are vegan because of the animals. Well, most of us are, and we don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be part of it, and that's it.
Absolutely.
Spot on. All right. How did things change for you physically or mentally?
Definitely changed to the better side. I remember when I gone vegan, I felt so light, like straight away. Like it just really, my body agreed with what I'm doing. Well, but I don't know if that was because as well I started running. So I went vegan and started running at the same time. But I just felt amazing, and then I could just eat anything at any time. And I was like, it's just like my body, I don't know, it just accepted it so well. And I used to have high cholesterol before, and doctors even here in UK would be like, oh, you're so young, like you should check. Maybe there is, you should kind of look what you're eating. But it never was referred as like to a diet or anything like that. So I tried like medicine and stuff, and nothing really helped. So I just kind of left it. And then when I gone vegan, it's like straight away dropped down, like straight away. Yeah, because when you think like all cholesterol sits in meat and dairy products, is all of it there. So
Yes,
it's
true.
kind of that gone straight away out. And yeah, I think I gone to my kind of regular weight as well. As I said, I didn't have any problems, because before it's always like this like fluctuating weight, and like you eat a bit more, and then but with me kind of agreed very well. So I think physically was really good. And then mentally as well, I would say, because really like 5 years ago, I think it kind of feels like I found myself. Yeah, it kind of, I don't know how to phrase it, but yeah, it kind of feels like I found myself as well in it, becoming vegan. Of course, probably it was to do something with like a diet itself, and then running, because it's a huge change for a body. Yeah, but I remember it was just feeling really kind of light. I was feeling light, like in all the senses, basically, like in the head and in the body. Yeah, I think
Fantastic.
that's the changes that I felt.
What do you think the best thing about being vegan is?
A lot of good things, but I think the really good thing is that you kind of discover everything from the beginning. No, not from the beginning. It's like I am excited to find vegan places and vegan foods and everything. Like not normal, sorry, like other people would not be excited, I don't know, to find a pastry or something. And I am, especially when I'm traveling, like to find vegan places and to find, I don't know, vegan organizations doing something, like social meetups where everyone is vegan. And like I'm so like, wow, this is so nice. Where I think, yeah, that would be the best thing, is like just discovering everything from new, because you kind of need to relearn. So that is like this process of new, and it gives you that excitement, because you know, as long as you're learning something and kind of discovering something new, it keeps you going. And just knowing that you're not part of that, you know, horrible industry and what is happening to the animals, it's just like, it just sits right with me, as I said before. So I think those things, yeah, you can you know, you feel good about yourself, because you know you're doing the right thing, and probably that is is the best thing about being vegan, I would say. Yeah.
It's quite exciting. Well, I mean, exciting / daunting in probably equal measures, but your shopping habits change completely. Your way you eat, like you say, traveling becomes more exciting because you're looking for a specific type of restaurant or cafe or whatever, and all of a sudden it's not just going on a trip, it's well, it becomes part of
there is
going on a
like,
trip
it's
and that
kind
sort
of
of thing,
gives,
doesn't it? Yeah, it is exciting.
well, definitely gave to me like a more of a bigger purpose. I feel like now, like, it gave me purpose, because before, because my skills are quite wide, like in general, and I thought, so what I should focus on, like, I don't really know. Like, I could do almost like anything, well, to a degree. And now I feel like I found kind of my thing, like that is my thing, and I feel purpose, and I feel excited about it. So that's
brilliant. That is good.
Yeah, so that excitement is. I was thinking, when you're learning to cook stuff again, you're having to relearn all this stuff, and it's like you're learning how to bake a cake. Like when you were a kid and your mum's teaching you how to bake a cake, but now we're learning how to do it completely differently, and it's like watching a little science experiment happening.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I made a cake.
Another thing is, so today I made like cold beetroot soup, which is very popular in Lithuania, and is made from like kefir, is like the base of it basically, and kefir is like, I don't know if you know, guys, it's like really a milk gone a bit bad. Has like a bit of like savory taste. I think you can find them like in Sainsbury's and stuff. It's called kefir. Yeah, I mean, it's really popular in Lithuania. So
wow.
And that's what you said, is just like learning everything from scratch. So it's like even like traditional dishes, like how do you adopt, what do you use instead of, you know, this and that. And it's just like a whole new world. No, not world, but like a whole new thing opens up.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, you can make a chocolate mousse out of the juice from a chickpea tin. Like, who even thought that's a good idea?
Yeah.
But it works. It was like
how many
new experiments you can try for food. It's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many experiments did they carry out before they thought,
I know.
let's just try this one. See,
yeah, exactly. Or like nutritional yeast, you know, it gives like this cheesy flavor, and all of it is like all these creamy thingies are not like too difficult to make. It's just like we are all very used to like old ways of doing stuff, and now is really this kind of space, you know, to kind of experiment again and again. Is this excitement like, oh, it actually tastes good. It tastes even, you know, it tastes the same, like you can't even say the difference. I'm just thinking, if wouldn't be vegan, like that wouldn't be anything of that. Like I just would not be doing those things. I would not be discovering all of this new stuff, and I think I'm really eating a more like bigger variety of fruits and veg than before, like definitely.
And like, there was that whole thing, wasn't there, getting like your 5 a day, and I'm thinking I'm getting about 20 a day.
Yeah, because it's just like naturally happens. You don't need to really think about it. Well, unless you know, you're very much like, I don't know, chips and sausages. Yeah, exactly.
A junk food vegan.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get 20 chemicals a day.
Yeah. Okay, what are your favorite vegan products at the moment?
I'm very easy on food. It's like, as long as it's vegan, I'm up for it. But I would say condensed milk, Nature's Charm condensed milk. It's something that I discovered recently and is really, really good. So I buy it and I make lazy cake, which is like Lithuanian again, kind of. I don't know what is similar here in England. So it's like basically biscuits, chocolate, and condensed milk, and you mix everything. You keep it in the fridge, and then you chop it up. It's
Wow,
really
that sounds pretty good.
I'm writing this down.
It's super easy to make. So yeah, so I tried so many condensed milk, and nothing really tastes like Nature's Charm. Others are really like, it doesn't taste as condensed milk, and that one really you can have a spoon of it and it tastes amazing. So that, I would say, and really, really like Cathedral City cheese. It's just like one of my favorites. If I buy it, I always buy that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I would probably say those two. And of course, the rest is, it sits well with me as well, because as I say, I'm so easy on food. I eat almost everything.
So what advice would you give to someone who came to you saying, Roberta, I want to go
I would say,
vegan,
well
what do I
done
do?
first, and just carry on living your life, just in vegan way. I feel like sometimes, it's like people are scared. Well, I was kind of at the beginning as well, but it's actually, it's nothing too complicated. It's nothing too difficult. You don't need to sit every day and think, okay, how many protein I need and where I'm gonna get it from, like how many this I need. Like it's not, it doesn't work like that. It's just like you live your life, and you just eat foods, and like if you mix them, that's enough. So I would say maybe just buy some cookbooks. Probably is the easiest way. Me personally, I don't really like cooking off the cookbooks, but I know some people do, and it just gives you an ideas, of foods that you can eat. Or I think quite easy way, if you don't want to buy cookbooks, is just to adopt your dishes, what you used to eat and what you like to eat, and just for the time being replace it with like vegan ingredients. I think is really easy to swap, because just like if you like, I don't know, pasta, this or that, it's just like it's so easy, or minced meat or wherever. So just replace it for the time being, and then probably as the time goes, you're gonna get used to it, and automatically, you're gonna start using, I don't know, more vegetables itself. So I would say, yeah. So or that, or like cookbooks, and yeah, probably that would be, and just kind of be normal, just go out and live life like it's nothing too much happening. I mean, you just not eating animals, and studies been done. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna die as well. So it's fine. Just go and enjoy it, because it's it's a good feeling.
There's plenty of us not dying of protein deficiency
Exactly.
now.
It's like, who,
the
like,
fact that
was
it's
there
okay.
anyone, like, did anyone died of protein deficiency, like, ever?
Never.
No.
Exactly,
There's plenty
but
of
not
people
of
dying of
protein
heart disease and
deficiency. So I don't know
cancer.
why this is still so much on the topic. Like, we are really more fiber deficient than anything, when you think. But nobody's talking about that. Like, nobody's talking that in the meat there is no fiber.
No.
And you need fiber. Like, you really need fiber to be healthy. But nobody's talking about that. Everyone is focusing on protein, because somebody put that, like, on top of the list. And that's where everyone is going. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the answer to the question, where do you get your protein?
God,
the answer is, where do you get your fiber?
That's what I'm going to be asking, like, just the question.
Yeah, and no one will know. No one will know, will they? I don't know where I would get mine. It's just in stuff that we eat.
They'll know. Answer for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay. Who's your vegan inspiration?
I'm going to be probably cheeky here and say that every vegan is my inspiration, because it's true. I mean, when I meet people, when they tell me they're vegan, I'm like, oh, like straight away, I'm like, something enlightens me. Yeah, because even on my journey a year ago, I really made some crucial like changes within like career path and everything. I just quit my full-time job basically, and all that change happened last summer. And that change really happened because I started going to the sanctuaries, started to connecting like more with animals and all the people that work there, they're vegan, and they just all inspire me, like what they do, and it's just like just being in that environment. It's just like you get that inspiration. So I started doing that, and I went to the vegan camp out, which was amazing as well. It's just like another good thing to do, and it's just like kind of urges you maybe like even to do more. Then you find out stuff that you didn't know about, you find more people, you get more inspired, you get more connected. Yeah. And so I really would like one day to be able to answer the questions and argue like Ed Winters. So he's one of really on top of my list. So as well as like Melanie Joy, I really like her. I read her books as well, and it was really interesting to listen, like to kind of read about carnism itself and what it is, and it's just still so much to do, like in kind of in that on that topic. But that's what inspires me. And yeah, as I said, like I could just name. So like everyone who is vegan, and if they're doing something about it, that is my inspiration. Because if I find something like vegan business organization, something like social group, like straight away start to follow them and just see like who they are and just feel all excited that this is actually happening. So yeah, so I would say all vegans probably. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
That's a great answer.
It is. Yeah. I don't think we've had that before. Well, we might have done. I'm not sure if we've done that before.
It's still a good answer. Yeah.
Still a good answer. Do you have, in your massive surplus of venues, do you have a favourite vegan restaurant or venue that you like
London
going to
is
the most?
really, really well equipped with vegan choices, which is good. But I would when I think the first one that comes to my mind is still Mildred's. I don't know. It's just I started with that. It was my first. Like I think at the time it was vegetarian. It wasn't even fully vegan when I went. It was my first restaurant when I was vegan, and I think they're really doing well even now. So when I go there, it's always nice food. Whatever I would order is just nice. I would say as well, I really like pastries, as I mentioned before. So there is the Fields Beneath next to Kentish Town. There is like really really small like a coffee shop, which they do loads of pastries and sandwiches. So it's really good croissants there. I really like it. And as well as the Spread Eagle is a vegan. I think it's the only fully vegan pub in London, which is like Hackney, Homerton area. Yeah, because usually like places like pubs would have vegan kitchen but not vegan bar. But there's like everything is vegan. It's a really nice venue, and they do two things that I really like: is pie and mash, and really really nice sticky toffee pudding with a lot of caramel. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Pie and mash in
Yeah.
like the East London way with all
that
that
like you
weird.
Yeah, they
Wow.
do like this
Completely
white
vegan.
pepper and like vinegar. You put that like on top as well, and they're really really nice people. And you always when you go there, there is like loads of local people just having a drink or something. And I think it's such a good way because they don't communicate. I don't think it's ever like nowhere is written like it's vegan. It's just like they don't shout out like, oh, we're vegans, like, oh, vegans only. They really are open to all the people that come along. And yeah, I really like them. They do karaoke as well. They have like pool table, and yeah, it's just really nice atmosphere. It's just really chilled. So that would be probably another. And it's just so much more. Just so much more. When I was handing out like leaflets and stuff for the conference for this year. and I had like a North London area because I live in North London. I find out so many restaurants like that I didn't know about. And like, I know a lot, but even that, yeah. So even those I still need to try. There are so many that I still need to try. It's, I think on Happy Cow, I'm afraid to say it wrong, but it's like, isn't it like 200 or something restaurants? Coffee shops and restaurants. Yes. So if you want to tick them all.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, just in London.
That's just greedy. Like the nearest one to me is about 20 miles away, and it's only open 3 days a week.
We are in London. We are like really spoiled. There's just so much choice. Yeah, it's just like you can. Yeah, go.
We went to Mildred's a couple of weeks ago, me and my wife, and it was just absolutely incredible.
Wow.
We did the tasting menu where they bring you out some samples of each, like the starters, mains, and dessert. Oh my god!
Yeah. I haven't been to Mildred's for a while. Yeah, I need to come back there. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. How about in Lithuania? Have you been back as a vegan?
I go there quite often. I go there like twice or even sometimes 3 times a year. I'm going there actually in a month's time, and I'm gonna be there like for a month. Yeah, so it's really good in the capital, in Vilnius. There are probably like 5 fully vegan like restaurants, cafes, which is a lot. And then when you go like to smaller cities, of course, like the biggest one, like Kaunas and Klaipėda, have couple, but others is just nothing. Like my hometown, just not even worth to go out and eat for me because it's just nothing. Yeah, it's just so sad. Like you can get Greek salad with taken out cheese, and then it's just loads of leaves, and just it's just like it's not worth it. And then like chips. So everywhere I go in my hometown, I'm like, I'm gonna eat at home. It's fine. And I'm just gonna, sit there and have a drink. So that's a bit disappointing.
Okay.
But capital, like Vilnius, is really good. Yeah, really good.
I went for work about 3 years ago, and I went to Rosehip Bistro, which was really, really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
really
go
enjoyed
there
that one
again. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Vilnius, but there's another, of course, places. And one of them, they do this really, really nice nut steak that I can't forget the taste of, and they do this peanut butter sauce for the chips. It's just so nice, and even my not vegan friend, she loves it. And we always come back to the same place. And we're both having that nut steak because it's just so nice. Exactly, yeah, and it's quite like runny,
butter sauce
not dense as you would imagine, but it's just like goes so well with everything.
The church, the one up in Sheffield, the one with from Ollie Sykes of Bring Me the Horizon, he's got a nut sauce that he puts on his chips, very similar to that.
It is, yeah. You wouldn't think amazing of something like that, but it really works well.
But it's new stuff again, isn't it? Like you said, it's finding things like that that
experimenting with food
makes things exciting.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, good. All right, so this is our last question, if you can believe it, and we asked this one on the back of basically one of our guests told us about the term Vistopia, the feeling that vegans often get living in a non-vegan world. And so what we're wondering is, do you have hope for the future?
I do have a hope. I mean, I would like to have hope. No, I do have a hope. But that could be because I am surrounded by a lot of vegans. Like my work, my social life. And so it kind of feels like, oh yeah, everything is well, everything is good. But no, I feel hopeful because you can see changes, you can see we're moving forward. Just thinking about like supermarkets and restaurants, like everywhere you go, there is at least an option. And there are so many vegan restaurants opening up. The aisles in supermarkets, are getting bigger. I mean, slowly, not as fast as we would like. There are, some changes because they kind of need to happen for one reason or another. Like environmental changes is just like pressuring us from another side. So yes, I do feel hopeful. Maybe it's not going to happen necessarily like for the animals, but it's going to happen from like another angle, because it just needs to, the way we're going is just not sustainable, and we just can't continue living like that. Unfortunately, like people are very much like listening to government bodies and stuff like that. So until they're gonna start telling, you need to do this and that, probably the major change is not gonna happen. But we are slowly somewhere going towards that. And as well as I think, as being vegans, like we're already doing a lot, and we're spreading that message. And I think just it's probably like the question would be like how to get maybe more like mainstream people, like it's to kind of just to kind of show the veganism from like simple scale, like that is not actually difficult, and it's not that. So maybe then we would attract like more people, not attract like sounds like a cult. I don't want it to sound like that. Or attract more people. Yeah, exactly. Trap them in.
We'll trap them in.
Yeah, show them some sweets, and stuff like that.
Yeah. But if like the health service said to people the healthiest diet is a vegan diet or plant-based diet, because vegan's not a diet, but that would carry some weight. If the government didn't subsidize the meat and dairy industries, then that would make a difference, because then people would hopefully sort of divert to a plant-based diet because it's cheaper than eating animals. And all right, it's not for the reason that we all hope, because they're doing it for the animals, but they're still doing it
or another. But I believe we have quite no, not quite few, but like we have some people working in NHS who are vegan, or like doctors who are vegan as well. So yeah, I mean, there is as much as we can do, and I think we're moving somewhere. Maybe not as fast as everyone would like to, but definitely we are going somewhere. And I feel hopeful. Yeah, I do.
Yes.
And you say about how things are changing, something that's quite topical for, well, now we're heading towards it, and when this comes out, it will be happening. The Paris Olympics. They've announced they're delivering a major vegan venue across the board, aren't they?
Exactly.
So
they already.
That's never happened before. And that's a big,
because everyone is really like kind
that.
of committed. I think until 2030 or something for this like zero emission target. So everyone is doing that, and there are organizations who are really cutting it through food. And that's as you said, one of them is like Olympics. I remember. I was actually writing about it. That I think was it not like 60% or something that you're gonna serve plant-based, or maybe there was some percentage, which is great because when you think those all big events, like they require so much food, and
all those athletes and everything, and thousands of people and spectators,
And when you think previous Olympics have been sponsored by the likes of McDonald's,
yes, Coca-Cola always,
and those places that aren't vegan, that are quite clearly not vegan, and now they're going, we're going to be serving a majority percentage of vegan stuff. You like.
That's a big thing. And another funny fact, so in Wimbledon, in those it just like finished these old games, they served Victoria sponge cake, which was vegan. So they every year serve like Victoria sponge cake as a like tradition, and this year it was vegan, as well as like as a part of this commitment to kind of reach this zero net. I was reading about it as well. So so it's like little changes like that.
That's really good.
It makes a difference. It really does. And
definitely.
Yeah, because you're putting that stuff into the mainstream. People don't realize it initially, and then afterwards they're told about it and they're like, actually, do you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So
if you show to
why don't we
people
just
that
carry
food
on
can
doing it
taste
that
still
way?
good, because it's so much about the taste. It's still, you know, as silly as it sounds, it's so much about the taste.
Yeah.
So I don't think, like, even in the big events, if you would cater like vegan only, it's like everyone would, you know, would survive and everything, you know, everyone would be fed and nice food. It's just like, if we could kind of go that route, and then they can go home and maybe, I don't know, eat whatever they want. But in these major events, at least like kind of have a rule, plant food only, plant-based food only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely we're going somewhere,
100%.
I think.
Yes. Good.
Good.
Great.
Love that. Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
All
We're
good.
moving forward
Yeah,
positively, so
let's
it's
keep
happy
going,
days.
and
Yes.
yeah, let's keep spreading that message to non-vegans or pre-vegans.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be
Yes,
vegans
free
one
vegans.
day.
That's what we like. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whether they like it or not. Okay. Sorry, my dog's just decided that she wants a cuddle, which is really, really inconvenient timing, to be honest.
Thank you
But
so much, guys.
anyway, thanks so
you for
much for
coming.
joining us. That's been brilliant. And we'll look forward to seeing more information about the VAR conference. No, I keep calling it the VAR conference. Sorry, that sounds like it's about football. It's not. The Vegan and Animal Rights
Exactly.
Conference.
We're gonna bring it home.
It's just a game. Move on.
VAR.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, we'll look forward to hearing more about the Vegan and Animal Rights Conference.
Coffee with milk, please.
We only have plant milk. Is that okay?
Stop! It's not okay. And if something like this has happened to you, you need to call me, Seymour Loudermilk, right now. If you've had your feelings hurt by a vegan, you could be entitled to compensation.
Oat milk, soy milk, almond milk?
No thanks. I'll have louder milk. And I'll see you in court.
Get more with Seymour. Call 866-HATE-VEGANS. HateVegans.com.
There we go. That was a good chat.
It was lovely.
Yes.
So I didn't realise that it's coming out in August. So the Olympics has already happened.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, that's fine.
But, you know, the Olympics happened and it was somewhat predominantly vegan. So happy days.
Magic.
Well, there might be some news out about that. Probably a load of people moaning. But hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a load of spectators gone to the Olympics, gone home, and become vegan off the back of it.
That would be magic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was a lovely chat. Bless her heart. First time she's done a podcast and she didn't say anything to us.
No, it was very good. Very good. Good fun. Lovely. Learned some more things there. Fields Beneath at Kentish Town. Not heard of that one before.
You know what? I loved your reaction when she said Roberta. When she said Mildred's, I knew it was coming, and you just went, "Yes."
But it's just all so awesome. Like, we went to the King's Cross one. We hadn't been to that one before, and it's quite modern.
Right.
It's like the Mildred's in Soho. I've been to a couple of times, and it's this nice little sort of old building, and it's a lovely sort of vibe.
Right.
And we went in the King's Cross one, and it was all very modern. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure if this is going to be as good," but it was.
Okay.
I mean, just tremendous, and the food was just brilliant. So, yeah, highly recommend. So there we go, listener. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, then why not tell us that you've enjoyed it? Drop us a line on Instagram. Just search for How I Vegan Podcast, or send us an email, and you could send that to
How I Vegan Podcast at gmail.com. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah, thanks everyone. See you next time.
Bye.